All right, all right. We are back for another live update on my art career in 15 minutes or less. Let's get into it. All right. Hey everyone, my name is Stephanie Brown. I'm a full-time artist, photographer, and installation artist based in Atlanta. And you are joining me from my YouTube channel, Stephanie Squared. Stephanie Squared is the space where I show up as Stephanie Fleming, real name, legal name, and my artist practice, Stephanie Brown. I have a few updates today. Every Thursday, I go live to provide updates on my art career in just 15 minutes or less. That much changes and moves every single week. And it's also just a really great practice opportunity for me to continue to be in front of a camera, be in front of a screen, and speak, share my mind, and create opportunities and pathways for people to connect with me and my art practice. So let's look at the notes. All right. So today is a little special because coincidentally, a new podcast episode just dropped where I am a guest. So this is with the Art Biz Success with Allison Stanfield. And this is an episode that I got to record a little while ago. This opportunity, actually, so both. I've been a guest on 2 podcasts now this year. And I'm going to give a little behind the scenes as to like what my strategy was when I dropped my podcast in between artists at the top of this year in the spring. So when I launched in between artists, the idea was that I was going to have a very like slow going structure for my podcast. I was not interested in trying to do an episode every day. I was not interested in trying to do like 50 episodes in a year. I wanted something intentional and slow, really just because of my capacity and time and the money it takes to produce a video podcast specifically. And the video podcast aspect of it was a big deal to me. And of course, when you're into the weeds of like the look and the sound and all of that, you want it to be extra crispy and extra great. So all those things cost money. Anyway, the idea was that every spring I would come out with a new season of my podcast. So spring of 2025, you got season 1. Spring 2026, you'll get season 2. Funding pending. And the idea is that in my off season, I would use that time to appear as a guest on other people's podcasts. It's a great opportunity for me to share my story, really get to speak more on the topics that I'm really passionate about, like art entrepreneurship, transparency with money and finances as an independent artist, getting your art degree, all of the things. I've got all these different talking points that I'm super passionate about, and that it's really important to me to build a presence around conversating around those things, because I really want to create more transparency and more dialogue around those aspects. So a great friend of mine, shout out to Amy, who I used to work with, she helped me put together a pitch letter that I use to essentially cold pitch to other podcasts. So I did some research on other art podcasts out there, specifically like art business related ones, or ones that kind of got into the weeds of that. And you can imagine lots of people did not respond. Also, it's very common that people don't receive pitches to be a guest on a podcast. It's normally like an invite only thing, but closed mouths don't get fed. So, shoot my shot. And 2 people actually got back to me that I didn't know at all. I found their podcast, saw some of the work that they did, and I was like, hey, there's alignment here. Would love to be a guest. And one of those was the Art School Graduate podcast, which already aired the top of October. So you can go and see that. That actually is also a video podcast. You can listen to that wherever you listen to podcasts, but you can also check out the video on YouTube as well. And then today's that dropped is the Art Biz Success podcast with Allison Stanfield. So this was great. If you follow me on Instagram, by all means, you can check it out there. I'll also try to actually anywhere that you connect with me, you'll be able to find a direct link to it, or you can just Google it. Stephanie Brown Artist, Art Biz Success podcast. It'll come up, but it's today's episode that just aired. And I'm really excited about it. We had such a great conversation that she actually split it up into 2 episodes because her podcast episodes are a little shorter. But yeah, it was a really great conversation, and I had a great time recording it, and super grateful for that opportunity. And I'm hopeful that some of the nuggets that I shared in that episode will resonate with people. At the end of the day, I really want to be in dialogue with others about their art career. And I really leverage my own journey as a medium to have those conversations. So yay for podcast speaking. All right, let's see what else happened as of late. Back to the notes. No more applications. So I decided that I'm not applying to anything else. Last week's update, I was kind of going back and forth about this. I've been really racking my brain. I'm on month 4 of being a full-time independent artist, and the financial strain is a lot. I'm not going to lie. I knew it was going to be hard, though. I signed up for this. I get it. And not a but there's also the realities of like, I'm slowing down in preparation of next year. I'm trying to think about like, can I maintain my studio? I actually had some thoughts today about, would it be so bad if I had to move into storage? To me, that would be really bad, but also I don't know what the trade-off is, but I'm figuring that out. Again, my Substack and YouTube channel is the space where I dive deeper into what's going on in that area. So by all means, if you're interested or curious or have some feedback or ideas, by all means, let me know. I'm all ears. But I decided not to apply to anything else for the rest of this year. I feel pretty good about what I have set up next year. I have a personal quota for myself to do at least one residency every year. That's a personal goal and rule that I gave to myself years ago. And I've held on to it pretty strongly, super proud of myself. And next year, I actually have two art residencies. Um, again, one of which is I'm being paid for, so that's great. And the other one I have to pay for because it's international. And that one, that balance is due at the top of the year. So a little nervous. We're just going to not think about the fact that that balance is due and I have no idea where that money is coming from. And I'm just trusting that the money will appear so that I can still do that residency because I was given a partial fellowship to do that residency, so it's discounted. But these are the things that you just have to think through when your sole income is your art practice. Like, I'm learning how to do projections for my business. I'm learning how to also narrow my focus because I think I started off this year when I figured out all my different revenue sources in my art practice. I think I was spreading myself way too thin. So even though I did a whole lot this year, go me, um, I was also kind of on a route of like burnout. So I'm slowing down right now, but I'm slowing down in a way that still continues the strong momentum. So the areas that I have the most momentum behind right now is actually behind um, me as a speaker. So doing artist talks, workshops, art education in that capacity. So I'm really leaning into that because all that takes is my time. Um, and that's something that I can do virtually, which is also really important. And then the other thing that I'm deciding to slow down and focus more on is Seesaw, which is a public art, technically it is a public art installation that I did. It was originally commissioned for the Science Gallery Atlanta. Um, and I'm thankful that I earned a fellowship and a mentor that's helping me scale that installation to travel. And the goal is that focusing on that installation will allow me to fund my art practice so that I can spend more time there. Um, so yeah, I'm just fighting for my life and doing everything I can to not have to like get a regular W-2 job. Um, no shade if you need to. It's just where I am in this present moment because I have a 1 year old or 1.5 year old. That actually just complicates things. So right now, I need to be home as much as possible, but I also need to make as much as possible. So that's kind of like the strange in between space that I'm in. Definitely can't go into an office. So things that allow me to just like work my own schedule and just be in my practice. I'm just doing everything I can to stay in my practice. So, all that to say, those are some of the things that I'm working on and that I have coming up for me. I'm very grateful that I've already done a couple speaking engagements for some colleges virtually this year. And I'm lined up to do one more before the end of the year. And I'm already booking for 2026. So, these small incremental things, I'm just trying to ramp it up in terms of numbers. So if you are a college professor, or if you have friends that's a college professor, please invite me to your classroom. I'd love to talk to your students. I'd love to work with your students. Yeah, please reach out and let me know where I can be of service. Okay, next thing on the list, we're already at the end and I'm doing good on time. We got 1 minute left. So upcoming or ongoing projects. So I'm knee deep in video editing. I have a new installation that is still up, thankfully, over at Gilly's Brew Bar in downtown Stone Mountain called it's their swings. That's what they are. Um, and it's actually a spinoff of my work, Seesaw. And I don't want to say too much because it's meant to be very incognito. And it's a part of a larger initiative called Uncommissioned, which is a global public art campaign that's intended for people to just stumble upon art without it being over explained or didactics or signs or anything like that. So it's been nice for the public to just engage with it It's also the first time I've actually done artwork outdoors. So this is actually my first formal like public outdoor art installation. So I'm working on a behind the scenes, or I think I'm going to call this series Behind the Art series, or I actually documented myself making this piece from start to finish, even the install. So the goal is that that video is supposed to go out this week. So hopefully I can get that done. And then I've got a lot of other videos of me making work and installations. I still need to recap my exhibition opening that was in Jamaica on September 28th. I definitely want to get that done, and then also include some resources for people who want to support Jamaica in the aftermath of the hurricane that happened. So yeah, I've got a lot of editing to do. If you are great with video editing and you want to volunteer your time, I would love to receive it. Otherwise, be patient with me. And I thank you for waiting. What can also be helpful, I'll just wrap up with my what do I need section. That's always where I end it. So funding sources for my podcasts. Again, season 2 is supposed to air in the spring. I should have started production for season 2 already, and I have not because the money's just not there. So I'm looking for funding sources for my podcasts. The other is I have 2 solo exhibitions next year, and I would love to see that show travel to 3 more cities to make a total of 5 cities next year, because 5 is my power number. So if you know of any galleries that might be open to receiving pitches, or if you want to put in a word for me, I'd love to see my work travel to a city near you. And then the last thing is, I'm open for hire. So again, speaking gigs, contract situations, part-time situations, I'm available for hire. So definitely open to paid gigs. And lastly, please subscribe. So if you're connecting and following me, if you're watching this on YouTube or LinkedIn or somewhere other than YouTube, click over to YouTube, find me underneath Stephanie Squared, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. That is going to be the central place where these behind the art videos come out. Me talking more about the financial side of my independent art practice is going to come out. All of those things, linking to my podcast episodes, my past podcast episodes, the guest podcast that I've been featured on, all of those things are on my YouTube channel. So do me a solid and follow me there. All right, that's it for all the updates. Thank you so much for supporting me and my art practice and joining me. Again, if you have any questions, thoughts, comments, concerns, don't be a stranger and reach out in the comments. Have a good night. Yay.